I'm here to speak to you about what our experience has been like over the past few years trying to rent Enfield High School for our 2 annual shows. We were stunned to receive our bill for renting the school that June. We paid $10,091 for 4 shows in a weekend. The last time we rented the school before the pandemic in 2019, our fee was $4,563. That's a 120% increase in price after 2 years of COVID. How do you justify a 120% increase in price? In 2023, we paid $6,087. Our projected price for this year of 2024 is $12,218. We're not asking for special treatment. We just want a reasonable price. We were equally discouraged this year in December when we were charged double the price from our previous year for our benefit show, which 100% of the profits made from this show go back into our local community, people in need. So during this performance, the lighting board stopped working at Enfield High School. They've built this beautiful facility, but it seems as though it's not being kept up. The speakers that go above the audience have not worked for years, and now we're having lighting issues. It's extremely stressful and unnerving to walk into an auditorium to put on what we feel is a professional show, to a system that doesn't work, and to have no one there to help us figure it out. For the money we're being charged to rent the space, these sort of things should be taken care of. My mother was invited to the meetings when they were planning to build the new auditorium for Enfield High School. Our studio's been renting in Enfield for over 60 years. We used to rent JFK, then Fermi, and now Enfield High School. So they asked her to come to the meetings. I have to tell you, it's been so very discouraging to feel as though our town does not want us. So in conclusion, my mother and I ask for someone to take charge of the rental process and make some changes to the pricing, as well as to be sure that the sound and lighting systems are in working order. Thank you for your time.
Okay, a couple of things I'd like to discuss. The facilities use policy, we've been talking about it, and I haven't heard anything about it. But hearing the numbers from Riley's and from men's softball, well, the two of them alone seem to exceed the total revenue that was brought in that we were told last year. So how is that possible? And it seems like they're the only two that are paying to use facilities. Again, the facilities policy is so all over the place. Why are their prices $10,000 one year, $6,000 the next, $8,000 the year after? I mean, again, it's like they are the only ones in town that are paying, because it's not like we brought in $40,000 last year. I think it was 10 or 8 was the total. So we need to look in that. But, you know, the committees, you know, I think people are tired of hearing, well, it's in committee. Well, we know how that works out in Washington, and it seems like that's being the way it's being worked out in Enfield, too. Things are dragging on way too long, because the facilities policy was also an issue when you guys were in charge, and we were going to look at it to try to prevent things like this from happening, and it just never got resolved. And I think we need to make this a priority.
In the building rental revenue of fiscal year 23, nonprofit, which is Enfield Lions Club, ERFC, so it's, et cetera, it was $10,761.91. This is building rental. For profit, which is Rally's Dance, Shooting Star, and Nelson, it says on here. It says Kenny Nelson, but no, it's really Nelson. Out of that $12,097. Riley's put in almost $8,000. This is why in the last meeting I asked if we can get an update on this with dates of when these things occur, so we know who's who and how much they're paying and why their changes are happening. Like I said, one is $1,173.80, and the other one we're after is $6,087. So why and which was this occurring? That's why I would like to see dates put on these.